Here we are. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning,
We are
Sarah.
we're doing episode 2 of what is now for us, or for me, the Palace. And we've come to see the changes that have been made. There's lots of changes that have been made. It's happening very fast. But I was just asking Richard here to start with about what the colours are going to be like here. And so would you like to explain what you've just said to me?
Well, the steel work is done, metal work is going to be white. All the windows are going to be white. The yellow exterior paint is going to be a very nice pale grey, but the stone is all going to be cleaned and kept the same. The inside the windows, the shutters are going to be the same pale grey as the walls, so you get the white window and then the pale grey, and then the corners are going to be white as well, in the same way as they are at the moment, so that and the detail, like the detail cornicing on the front, so it's going to stay looking very similar, apart from the colours changing.
Okay. All right, so shall we go through into who has the microphone? You, me, I have the microphone. Okay, so let's go in and have a look. Now, we might occasionally have to ask people to stop working, but just on the entrance hall here, this is now completely blocked off. This is also blocked off, so this is just to the entrance hall.
Yeah. They're going to have a pair of sort of matching, basically just matching mirrors with probably small console tables in front of them, so you can do a full view of the front and back before you go out partying.
We can check ourselves properly that we're of a high enough quality to be leaving the Palace. Exactly.
To be allowed out.
Right. So you lead the way. Should we go into that one? Into here and just see what's been created. So here we have
now this wall where you're standing, Sarah, nearly so, is gone completely, and the doorway that was there has been taken out and moved into the back wall there, where there was just nothing. I mean, what's happened with opening this up now is just made this room so much better in terms of proportion. The problem with this house was that because the ceilings are so high, the rooms felt narrow and tall. But now opening them like this, the proportion just feels so much better.
It's a complete game changer, isn't it?
It is, yes. And this is going to be, temporarily, we're going to move into this as a bed sitting room when we move over here probably in February, hopefully. And then, but ultimately it's going to become a pool room with a big telly stroke projector on that wall, and it's just going to be
chill out, relax, fun room.
Absolutely, also, to send people away, get them out of our hair while we do the cooking, basically.
Yeah, that's a good plan also. Yeah. And something to note, obviously the height is obviously the steel frame's gone in, and although there's lots of curves everywhere with the door frames, this is going to stay square. And the same in the other room, which we'll show you shortly. And okay, maybe we just go back. Which way? That way.
Through there first of all. And
I
think.
So as Richard was saying, so this door has been. There wasn't a door here before. It's been repurposed, opened up, and put in. Yes. Okay.
So this will, on the left here, that will be completely blocked up because we're reshaping the stairs to the basement.
So that was this one. That's what we wanted to mention, isn't it? Come on, Paul. We probably should have moved the ladder, shouldn't we? But we haven't done, so there we go. This
bit here is where the chimney breast is at the moment, and it's all going to go right the way through, including the actual chimney stack itself. So, and we're going to put a single person lift from the ground floor up to the first floor, which will go into our private bathroom. So
I mean, having your own elevator is pretty posh.
Well, it's a posh house.
It is a posh house.
One of the things about it is the stairs are they're beautiful, but there's an awful lot of them. It's
hard work.
26 stairs from ground floor to first floor, and another 26 to the top floor, which is double what you get in a standard house. It's normal 13
that's
steps.
young man's stairs, isn't it?
Yes, I'm still quite happy to use the stairs, considering I'm still young, but but Anna will struggle with them all. So that's why that's coming out, and that's why we had to put this doorway in here, because otherwise we couldn't improve the access to the basement, and it was all like a little bit of a jigsaw. Okay. But then this beautiful arched doorway becomes the outside, because this part here is all going to be demolished, and then this will be the terrace.
This becomes the back door.
That becomes yes, that's right.
And so the elevator gives access to both directly out to the back garden and directly down into this downstairs area.
That's right.
Perfect. Oh, I just wanted to get, I'm sorry, but I love the tiles. Well, they're not the tiles. They are what remains of the tiles. But look what's happened. From where they've taken the tiles up, it's left the pattern.
That is pretty cool.
It's such a... I know you can't keep it like that. It's completely impractical. But it's just the little things that you uncover. And also this little square here. Little details that I like, of course.
Yeah, well,
it goes all the way round, doesn't it? But of course it will go.
An Art Deco theme to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we've obviously cleared an awful lot of stuff. That doorway there, the stone door frame from there is going to come out and go into the dining room, where it will become the back door from the dining room onto this terrace as well.
To show where that's going to go.
So that will go into that room, into that wall.
So that doorway that we're directly looking at now will be that door frame and door.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes, because the ceiling is going to go, of course, obviously, as the whole thing is demolished, and then it'll be a really nice arched door that matches up with the arched windows and the arched windows on the whole of the back of the house.
That's just going to look fabulous.
It is, well, I hope so.
Okay. So from here, sure, I guess we ought to show that this has been opened up, isn't it? Because I lose track of where we were last time we were here a little bit. So, are you coming in? So you can see the pipe works going in. This will be a large centralised... large central island here. So obviously all your plumbing's going in now. Everything's being done, obviously, correctly. You can't take it up again afterwards. And here we'll have kitchen diner. There you go.
Well, the floor in here, I mean, the floor was lovely, but most of the joist ends were rotten. So with dry rot and wet rot and everything else, because none of the windows were sealed. You know, they didn't have silicone when they put the windows in, so they just relied on a good fit. But water ingress over the last 125 years has meant that the panelling that was around this room and the joists and things, there was an awful lot of rot in there. So we decided it was more practical to take the whole of the wooden floor out and concrete it, so it comes through to this level. And then when we tile all this, you know, we're going to get we've got a really good base for the tiling.
Fluid,
and
won't it?
Absolutely, and then there'll be a tiled up stand as well going right around the room. So no, it's going to be a dramatic kitchen, I think, when we finish. Because obviously that door over there is going to be a glazed door, a glazed double door, new window to go in at the other end, and so it's going to be absolutely super.
I think you might be able to get Best Kitchen Award here. Certainly in Alvaiazere, I reckon.
I wouldn't be surprised for but we just so love being here, though. The place is fantastic, and everybody's been so nice to us.
I bet everyone's so interested. How many people do you get popping in?
We get a quick look? Absolutely, yeah. An Australian guy who lives in Brisbane, but he's got a house not almost there, but close to here.
Yeah.
He'd looked at this 18 months ago, but
Okay.
reckoned he was just a bit too old to take it on.
Yeah.
As I said on the last video, I think I'm just too stupid.
Brave, darling. What's the difference between bravery and stupid? It's a fine line. Fine line.
The other thing is that there's going to be trifold doors going in here,
Of course,
which will
yeah.
all fold right back. So you can either have the kitchen, dining room open, or you can shut it off and have it just,
Yes, so it can be interlinked or it can be separate,
yes,
depending
yes,
on what you're doing,
Exactly.
who you're entertaining.
Yes. When we're
Okay.
entertaining royalty, we'll be able to shut them in on their own.
Sounds good. So we've got...
This will flow through then, obviously, into the sitting room, where there have been some changes, nice changes. What was an incredibly dark room is still a bit dark because the windows need replacing, or one of the windows needs replacing, but we have removed that wall, which again, as in the other room, has made the proportions so much better, and also made it less of a corridor, because
it was just a walkway.
Yeah,
In a
that's
way,
right.
It was a
Yeah,
walk-through,
absolutely.
Which is
Well,
complete waste.
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doors plus the entrance to the tower. It made it just impossible to...
Almost unusable,
Yeah,
really,
well,
as a proper room.
that's right. So this has now sort of transformed it.
Okay. So Paul's gone into the
and
tower.
where the-
So you
Paul's
might as well
look-
explain what's going on with the tower.
Well, again, the floor was rotten. You can see from the state of the window frames and things, the metal window frames, that in fact there's an awful lot of water ingress, and it now needs. We could have replaced the floor, but there's nothing underneath the tower here. So what we're doing is to concrete the floor in there, keep the wooden floor in this part of the house.
Maybe
but,
if you turn to Paul, if you turn to get the tiles,
Yes,
and then it'll make sense. What Richard's
But then we're
going
going to do a tiled section in the floor of the tower that will sort of correspond to
Carry on with the theme.
The theme of the sort of Moroccan, slightly Arab feel to the thing, with all the windows and all the shapes and everything. And we were very lucky. When we were down cleaning out the basement, we found the doors from here were rotten. I was going to have them remade, but in fact we found a pair of doors that fit this. So I'm in the middle of restoring those, and have to fiddle about with the hinges and stuff. But other than that, we've got identical doors to we should be on. I don't know what's been there.
You've actually probably not had to buy any?
Well, yeah, the kitchen doors being remade.
Oh, I mean, the bifold, obviously.
The bifold, the bifold, the trifold are out of the arch that was in the kitchen.
Yeah,
So we've just moved them.
Yeah.
So no, we've. I think at the moment I've sort of ordered 4 windows or 3 windows and a door, and I'm just about to take a door frame up to the carpenter to copy. But really, on the ground floor, we will have only replaced that number of windows.
Yeah, that's amazing, really.
So
there's a lot of windows.
There's an awful lot of windows, and considering there are an awful lot of windows and they're wood and they weren't ever properly sealed, and
they've all got blinds and all got
the shutters and everything.
inside. It could have been an enormous expense, couldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, hideous. No, we've done quite well, I think, from that point of view.
So, I think what we're going to do now, maybe, did we cut or did we just find out? Let's walk there, maybe.
We could walk to just show you what's gone on the first half landing. Because
Go on then.
Yeah.
Well, you need to take this back again.
Sorry.
I think
there's also the soil stacks gone in, ready for the bathrooms upstairs, and is joined into the drainage that's coming through from the kitchen and is going to go out of the house and onto the main sewers at the front. But if we just have a quick look at what's gone on, the half landing has now had its door taken out. One of the arched windows from the demolition part is going to go in on this section, and then those doors are going to go outside to the man cave.
Man cave. So this will be letting light directly.
This will, exactly. So this will have a beautiful arch window with a
coming
straight down the stairs, and so it'll light.
And
It'll improve the lighting all the way up the house, really, and it's
beautiful.
So that's because that was a sort of 1930s, 40s extension for 2 bathrooms.
That was the black and white bathroom.
Yes, in the first video.
That's right, and those bathrooms were the only bathrooms in the house. You know, you had 12 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms that you had to come down from.
If you look up, if you
have to come.
Paul, and look up,
Had to come right, probably.
I think I got this shot a long time, but you just want it again.
I want it again.
Well, it's just,
it is quite glorious.
Yeah. So, I reckon, having mentioned man cave, that's probably
we
where you
ought
need
to
go.
perhaps go and have a look at the man cave. Where
I think probably you keep hold of the microphone.
Sure.
I'm going to follow you.
I think where we're going to be able to reproduce some of these tiles, some of the floor tiles here that have damaged. I need about 12 or 13 tiles, and then also we're going to run the tiles that are in the tiled up stand at the moment straight across, so it just looks as though it was original with a tiny little shelf. Yeah, because I mean we found one down in the basement, but it's don't know that.
Okay, well,
but at least we can.
That's quite handy because that means you can get someone to copy it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
With that, or cement tiles.
I don't know. I think they're probably ceramic.
It's that solid.
It's
That's
the
really
thickness,
feels like concrete,
Yeah.
and actually it's got something printed on the back.
It's got the name on it.
It's got a name. Can't read it. Allow.
No, I'm struggling here, guys.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay, with the light behind us. Anyway, so that's going to run through, which will be nice on both sides, and then then you won't ever really feel as though there were doorways there, even though we're leaving the lights.
We're too busy posing in your mirrors.
Well, absolutely. But as you walk in, you won't immediately think of it, because obviously the frames won't show as much because they're going to be painted.
You're going to keep the bird's nest.
The bird's nest, of course, is going to stay. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our first house guests. We had two. We had 2. I don't know what you call them. 2 fledglings. 2 lots of babies.
2 lots of babies. Oh.
Yeah, and the mum used to come flying in through all the broken windows.
House martins or swallows? Or
I think they were house martins.
Right.
House martins,
Okay.
Yeah. Very nice.
Come on then, man cave
So-
is.
We'll go back outside where, of course, we're changing an awful lot of this, these structures outside the house, so that we can actually drive in, use this area for parking.
Use this as your main entrance?
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, when you come,
It's got us, yes.
you bring your shopping in, you bring your luggage in, and then the drive will go straight down there to the garage at the end.
Okay.
So.
All right. So that will
Oh,
actually.
and I forgot to actually say that on Tuesday we got planning permission.
Oh yes, you mentioned it. So that's.
So very, very excited. That's to
planning
knock
permission?
down that and to rebuild. Well, you had to. If we were going to alter the outside of the house, we had to have planning permission.
Yeah.
We didn't have to have planning permission for the changes inside, although we have to kind of do a project for both the electrics and the plumbing, which is kind of ongoing at the moment. So, and then this is all going to be tidied up. The gates improved, obviously, or refurbished, and it's going to be a very pleasant thing. And we've got a couple of lovely gum trees here, Australian gum trees, that we thought weren't doing very much, but suddenly they've come out into the most beautiful pink blossom. So we're delighted that we actually didn't cut those down.
Yeah. Now we are going to, behind us you will see we have a rather long, large hump. And we are going to go and have a look at what's been done inside that, because this is actually a water tank that was the water that was supplied from a natural spring further up the hill in Alvaiazere, and now it's going to have a mixture of uses. So,
Let's go and look at the hump.
Let's go
Yep.
inside the hump. The back third of the hump is going to still be a water storage.
Yep.
So obviously we'll use the top water off the house to fill it, and then we'll use that with a pump to pump the water for the garden.
yeah,
So
perfect.
that's,
Go on,
yeah.
you take it, and then you can describe.
So, but the front 2/3, it's easier to describe when we get inside. It's a very odd.
It's a lot longer
It's
out here than it does when you're inside it.
well, of course, you don't see the last
Yeah.
third of it because now it's been blocked off. Yes.
Yeah.
So it was the water supply for the house and garden.
Yeah.
And
How many? Do you know how many litres it held?
I think it held something like 30,000 cubic meters.
Yeah.
Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, it can't be.
It's held a lot anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Well, it was it's 3 meters by 3 meters, so that's 9 meters, and it was 24 meters long.
Oh, okay.
So
9 by 24.
9 to 180, 100.
Yeah, I think you just got a 0 wrong was all, but
Probably,
Yeah.
but I did.
It's a lot.
I did. It's an awful lot of water. Yes, I might have just converted cubic meters to liters or something, you know, or vice versa. So, yeah,
Are these tiles here? They're the same as in the hallway.
they're very similar, but of course they've faded so much more with them being
Yeah.
outside in
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
sunshine. You know, so I'm not quite sure yet how we're going to be able to manage those, but we're going to do something.
Yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
there used to be 2 huge taps on the front here.
Okay.
There's a small tap
Oh yes.
on the side of the
Sorry,
house
look, a bit
here.
closer. If you turn around, you
I'm
can
trying
get the
to.
tap in.
Yeah, the small sort of access for getting water out of there's a tank on the side, but there was 2 huge taps on the front here, and no access. You know, there's just a sort of window to let, well, I presume just to let
Yeah,
the
so
water
this
breathe.
has all been demolished.
I mean, look at that.
And now it's fantastic, isn't it? So we're going to turn this into a man cave.
It is a man cave.
It is a man cave already. Well, it's going to have a dartboard in it and a Pac-Man machine and a bar. Yes, so it's going to be really a bit
They're long,
special.
solid pieces of stone.
There are some long solid pieces of stone, yes, but they've done some rendering on it
Yeah.
using obviously planks against it to.
Okay, that's where it was.
yeah.
So that's where I can see
That's-
the
There would have been a
imprint.
structure originally built, and then they'd have built the dome and then removed the structure.
Yes, indeed.
That's how they were-
Oh,
they were
absolutely,
used the
yes.
former,
A
yeah.
bit of former, yes. And there was a wall in across here, which didn't go right to the ceiling, but it was this thing was in 3. There was a wall here,
Chambers.
a wall here, and the water just used to run over and from one to the next,
Okay.
and then it had an overflow going out at the front.
Of course, it would have to, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Have to.
Yeah,
That's the water source.
yeah.
So we're all looking forward to thinking.
To sinking a couple of glasses of water.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what we're going to say. Yeah. No, it's not bubbles, darling. I want bubbles.
Bubbles, of course.
Bubbles.
Certainly, when we open it, it's going to be bubbles.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, is there one other thing that we needed to look at?
We need to have a quick look
In the basement.
in the basement. 'cause,
Right, let's go. Yes, okay.
There's been no filming in the basement, so that's where we need to go next.
Right. I'll tell Pete you can start his concreting again.
I think he's. Is it? Oh no, I think they're having a brew. So
We're only going to be 10 minutes. So, down in the basement, which is obviously extensive.
well, it's the same size as the house without the bit that's being demolished
Yeah.
on the back of the house. So.
I remember going in here before you bought it, down the little stairs
Yes.
inside the house,
Which are horrid.
exploring.
We took a photograph the other day of a tiny little bat just sitting here on the wall, a little pipistrel, we think. Yeah. So this centre section of the basement is going to become a small gymnasium and a sauna and a downstairs loo. and shower room. But the 4 rooms, 2 rooms on either side, the 4 rooms are going to become going to become storerooms and a downstairs laundry room and food.
Yeah, storage.
Yep,
I mean, it's perfect.
Fruits and
you can tell the difference in the temperature down here as well.
immediately,
So
yes.
for storage,
it's lovely.
room
And
for
the
food
stairs
products.
are going to be completely remodelled.
Oh, you're going to lose these. These are the ones I remember coming down.
So
in
backwards as well, yeah, because they're impossible.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's of course,
Okay.
that's all going to go. I mean, it's just useful space. But this area in particular is going to have a proper ceiling put in. It's going to be really properly tidied up there in the middle of just digging down a little bit to give us a bit of extra head height.
But the beams, obviously, this is all staying. So
Oh,
will
yes.
you be treating these, or do you think?
Oh yeah, no, we're going to have to treat the whole
Treat
house.
everything.
The entire house has got to be sprayed because there's quite a bit of worm about. It's very definitely
You can't get
a wormy area.
Yeah, no. Any old house that's got wood in it has some element of worm, and you have to just do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll regret it later.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as we're putting in new timbers, we're treating them all.
Yeah.
But the existing timbers are all going to have to be
Yeah,
sprayed.
I mean, that's quite a job in itself, isn't it?
It is.
Treating all of this.
Yes, absolutely.
But it has to be done.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you want to look around what we've got here and
we've
just
just
do a circuit, or?
There's obviously there's a door. There's a door here that's going to be able to go on this thing, again repurposed because that was in the bit that's being extended. This bit, even though it's got a slightly low ceiling, is going to become a laundry room, just a laundry and ironing room, I think, so that I can. What do you think? And that's just going to be
and of course, you have got the windows.
Well, we've got air vents.
Air hole.
Air vents, yes, to keep the air.
Oh yes, Paul's got one there. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, they're nice.
It always used to fascinate me, those little windows on streets that you could
Yes.
look into cellars.
Into
when I was a
basements.
kid, I always remember looking into them.
Yeah. So as you can see, just watch your head on the light, but as you can, or the lack of light, but as you can see, the drainage, the main drainage is going to go in on this side of the house, but there's also going to be main drainage on the other side of the house, which will have to go out to into the road. And
I think one thing I'd like to get, I'd like you to get a shot of now keep going, it's the gate on the way in. It's like a jailer's gate, this one here, look at it. It just, can you get it properly?
Yeah.
But the other side's got a name on it. AJ Ferreira.
You're not allowed.
This is where the servants used to be locked.
Oh, yes, scary stuff.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And then.
I think, of course, we might as well mention the name.
Yeah.
Shall we? Can you, I don't know if you can get that, but I
AJ.
believe that said AJ Ferreira.
Ferreira.
Yeah.
Was he the gate maker or the jailer?
I think he might have been the owner.
Ah.
I'm not sure, but.
Okay. So we've probably finished most of. Oh, this is Is it bigger?
Well, it's all.
Equal.
They're pretty equal, yeah. It's just slightly higher in it, but there's not much
higher,
in it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
and
it's all very similar.
This here is the bottom, the base of the chimney stack, and the whole chimney breast, which goes right up and out, 10 feet up on the top of the roof as well. But all that's coming down. No, this bit probably isn't going to come down, but we're going to be able to run the services, both electric and sewage and things, up through here and use what
you've got, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, that looks like the stairs from the other side.
Used to be. Well,
used to be.
I don't know what.
Stairs here.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't. It's very odd. I don't know what.
It looks like there were stairs at some point.
It does, but.
Yeah.
There's no opening.
But they don't
Well,
go
it doesn't
anywhere.
make sense. Yeah.
No, that's right. It doesn't. But then there's a lot of things in this house don't make sense, including me.
Element of mystery.
Yeah.
Okay. What's that there? I'm just finding random things now. What's this? I'm not going to. You're going to pull it out, yeah.
It's a handle.
Oh. Okay.
Somebody's found it while they've been digging.
Yeah, and
inside.
popped it. Yeah. Okay.
That's what
All
clean
right.
does.
So shall we go back up into the daylight, and then we've probably covered a lot. Yes. Come on then. Out of the jail, out of the jailer's gate, Mr. Ferreira.
While you're here, Rich.
While we're here, what have you discovered? What have you got underground?
Stand there, see what it's like.
Head height.
Trash going out. Do you want it down more yet?
A little bit, yes, I think
I
so.
would, yeah.
Yeah. It's just that by the time we put the plasterboard and stuff
Well,
in,
it's
and we put the
floor down
concrete
and all
in,
that,
yeah, then we're going to get...
Sorry, Brian, keep digging.
Get him a bigger drill. Get him a bigger drill.
I don't know that I've ever seen him hide before. Right. Okay. Right. Shaffer's nearly in there. Right. Are we going up the stairs? Is that just me?
No, we'll walk out, Sarah.
Yeah, up the stairs is just ridiculous for everyone. Okay. Right. See you all later. Have fun digging. All right, we're done. You can carry on with your mix. Okay, so Richard, I think where are we? You okay for lights? So, summarising stage 2.
Well, it's...
Well, I mean,
it's
stage about
been-
57 really,
been
but for
very
stage 2 for us,
very
yeah.
exciting. The speed of
Yeah, it's
change
changing
has
massively,
been
very
fantastic.
fast.
I mean, that tends to happen when it's big jobs and it's sort of demolition stuff. And of course, when you come next, all this hopefully will have gone as well, and we'll be in a position where we can start sorting out the terrace ready, because the pool's going here, you
Yeah.
see, on the level with the terrace. You're going
Yeah.
to just be able to walk straight out into the pool.
Right. They've started digging out as requested, so I think
course.
it's probably a good time to cut.
And we've got some nice, that's one of those.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
going to become a nice standard lamp in the man cave, I think.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Well, brilliant.
That's all right.
Thank you very much.
That's okay.
Thank you
We'll see
very
you
much.
next
Again,
time.
we'll